Welcome to Inside Billy's Head, where the thoughts are random, the ideas are a little weird, and nothing's off limits. Today I'm going to talk to you about a little place called Laurelhurst Florist. I'm going to show you where it began, and I'm going to show you where it is now, and I'm going to tell you the backstory of that building.
Laurelhurst Florist would be in the location that I'm taking you to now for almost 35 years until it was decided it was time to take it to a new location and start a new type of business model by the owner. I'm standing in front of what used to be Laurelhurst Florist until about 6.5 years ago. This was the location that it stood since 1985. Now, if you want to look inside, looking inside, you can see that it's quite empty in there. I don't know how well this shows on camera, but you can see it's very, very empty. There used to be a mezzanine in there, way up top, where there was a bed and a bathroom for the owner to be able to relax when needed.
This neighborhood used to be thriving with a lot of hustle and bustle, especially with the different shops on this block.
There's where the sign was that actually is now in her backyard. This is what it looks like now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on the screen what it used to look like when it was a thriving business. This is what the area looks like now, as opposed to what it did look like. Laurelhurst Florist ended up moving to a place that used to be a sanitarium many, many years ago. The sanitarium would house just a few people to start with.
The most influential Adventist health institution was the Battle Creek Sanitarium, run by Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. Yes, that Kellogg. Kellogg promoted a philosophy of biologic living, which emphasized vegetarian diet, exercise and fresh air, hydrotherapy, and avoidance of alcohol. It became one of the most famous health resorts in America in the late 1800s. Wealthy patients traveled there just for treatments and lifestyle training. The founder of Portland's facility were trained at the Battle Creek system. That key figure, Dr. Louis Belknap, and he studied Adventist medicine and adopted the Kellogg-style treatment methods. When Dr. Belknap started the Portland Sanitarium in 1893, he essentially just recreated a small version of the Battle Creek one in Oregon. The Belmont facility offered hydrotherapy baths, vegetarian meals, fresh air therapy, exercise programs, lifestyle instructions. And patients were not just treated medically, they were also taught how to have healthier lives. Just like the Battle Creek version, the Portland Sanitarium also operated with health food production, vegetarian restaurants, and diet education programs. The reason why Portland was chosen was because the Pacific Northwest climate was considered healthy. The city was growing rapidly, and it served as a gateway to the western U.S. The Belmont Sanitarium therefore became the Adventist Medical Center for the Northwest. The Portland Sanitarium gradually evolved into a modern hospital, eventually becoming Adventist Health Portland. But its roots will always remain in the same health reform movement that produced cornflakes. It stayed here for many years until it made its new home on Market Street. Here's what Adventist Portland looks like today.
This is where the florist is now. But I still think the coolest thing is that this used to be a sanitarium. A sanitarium, of all places. And for those of you that like liminal spaces, you'll appreciate this. Now, I'm going to take you upstairs because I want you to see some of the floors and how they still look the same, even after all these years. Now, there are separate businesses using this now as a business plaza, but it never lost its history.
This must have served as the original cafeteria for the patients. Now we'll be going up to the third floor, where they did a lot of testing and examinations on the patients. Now we're entering the third floor. This is where they did a lot of testing and examinations for their patients on a daily basis. Everything from hydrotherapy to nutrition to different types of lifestyle changes just to see how the patients would react.
This is a cool look from the fourth floor, looking out onto the top of the building. And over here, the street that you see to your left is Belmont.
This is the fourth floor where the patients would stay. This is the fifth floor, and this is where all of the surgery suites were. Every operating room had a set of steel doors, and they're still here. They even still have the old board up where they wrote up the patients' names for the surgeries. Now we're back down to that florist shop that I was telling you about called Laurelhurst Florist. This is where it sits today. It's nothing more than a little studio, but it's perfect for what the owner had in mind. Low maintenance, low overhead, and very cozy.
Well, you've been inside Billy's head, but don't worry, the effects are only temporary. Whether you learned something, you laughed, or you just stared at the screen in utter amazement, mission accomplished. I always appreciate you being here. I love all of you. And remember, this isn't the end, just a small pause.